I just want to say welcome back to Small Ruminant Land. We are here on Silicon Ranch's solar site. The panels are just waking up. That's what that noise is there. We manage 682 acres. To control vegetation to prevent shading on the solar panels. So right around us now, there aren't really any obvious signs of, plants that are potential shade hazards, but we can walk back in that corner. I saw some yesterday. We can see how the sheep grazed them down. These are all white dorpers and Katahdin crosses that we had purchased back in February to get ready for this big project, and we got to make sure we've got the right amount of mouths on the ground to have the impact that we need. It's really fun to graze here because you can really hammer down a section that's overgrown and go in there real quick and make the paddock small, and then kind of keep them moving and keep them healthy. It's such a relief because I don't really have to worry about where I can graze based on where the shade is. Sometimes, at least in the heat of the summer down here, it's a little bit harder to go tackle this section of a field when there's no shade. So here we have, the whole thing, there's shade every 20 feet or whatever. So they can go eat and then hang out in the shade, and we'll make sure they've got water. And I've got my mineral feeder over here we can check out. These sheep are cool because they came to us when they're still pretty young. So they're like a little bit more trusting of us, and they've been handled kind of gently, so they're pretty curious of people still. So this is what I was talking about, the free choice minerals system we've got. We've got iodine, magnesium, calcium, selenium, copper, molybdenum, which is super fun to say. This is also selenium, but I was just trying to offer it in a different way and see if this is better than the reduced 4-inch kind of opening. Then we've got phosphorus, cobalt, zinc, sulfur, and salt. So we want to offer salt by itself because some of these minerals, they kind of have some additives to kind of make them appetizing. And if the sheep want salt, and for example the copper has salt in it, and the copper can be toxic, if they're going for salt, they can overdose on the copper. So we want to give that to them free choice as well. It's really fascinating to me to watch them devour a stem that's that big. You look at that and you can see how fibrous it is, but there's so much moisture in there, so they're getting a certain percentage of water from that, but this plant will grow to be kind of eye level. So this is exactly what they're supposed to do, is keep these plants at a managed level. I always tell them good sheep when I see them knocking that back. What surprised me here is the variety of plants that have kind of voluntarily grown, because all this was historically cropland, so it's just kind of a natural seed bank in the soil, and whatever is kind of coming up here is just what nature was just filling in the gaps to keep the soil covered. So you go from a pretty serious environment of a monocultured row crop farm, and then an even more extreme environment of like a construction site when they're building this place, and then we're trying to heal the land, harvest sun. It's I don't know, it's pretty crazy.